What is good, YouTube? Quinn Wade coming to y'all with some more basketball analysis. Tonight, we're going to talk about what is most likely going to happen, which is the Dallas Mavericks selecting Cooper Flagg as their number one overall draft pick in the 2025 NBA draft. It's going to be fun to watch it. It's going to be fun to see it. But the thing about it is they traded Luka Doncic. And yes, that still is a conversation that people are having because we've seen Luka being in good shape in the last couple pictures that we've seen him out and about doing his thing. And it does make you wonder, well, since they've shown that they don't regret it and they're showing that they move forward from it and they're showing that they're going forward with this decision and they ended up having the number one pick fall right into their lap. And now they get a chance to get a guy that's a two-way player that can rebound, score, pass, and shoot shots off the dribble and even shoot threes off the ball and on the ball. Is Cooper Flagg the right pick for them? And the answer is obviously yes. You can't get a player that's more complete. You can't get a player that's better. But I would say that's the whole purpose of taking him, and they've shown that they only have interest in him. Can't really blame them. Can't really be mad about that. But the question is always going to be, can he be a franchise savior? Because they're looking at Cooper Flagg as that missing piece to go with Clay, to go with Kyrie, to go with Anthony Davis, to go with Derek Lively and Gafford down there in Dallas. And he does honestly fit what they're trying to do and the culture that they're trying to build down there. And that's something that's very important to the fans and also important to the whole organization, especially because they already got rid of a guy that got them to the NBA Finals. Although they only won one game in the finals, it was better than what they was doing before. And if you actually stay a little bit more healthier and continue to build around them edges of that roster, maybe you do win one with Luka. But now that's in the past, and now it's all about Cooper Flagg, a guy that's still a teenager right now, and a guy that can really take over games and carry the load sometimes too. We don't know if he can really do it at the NBA level yet, because some of these guys going to be just as strong, just as fast, just as long, just as tall as Cooper Flagg, making things a lot more frustrating, a lot more difficult for him. But he understands the fundamentals. He plays the game the right way. He understands how to play this game. He understands how to keep his teammates involved. He understands how, to understand the field of the game and how to go about and approach the game the right way. That's something that he has shown already at a young age, and it's hard to get a guy as complete as a guy like Cooper Flagg. That just shows you how much he loves the game. That shows you how much he loves playing the game and learning the game, because that's the only way you can accelerate and be as talented as he is, especially when you look at his bodies and you look at the things that he can do at that size. It's just crazy how they was able to get that number one pick right after trading Luka in the same season. It's just unbelievable. But I do look at this guy and say he has a lot of help, especially if Kyrie can come back and be 75% of what he used to be. This team is going to be very tough to beat, and it does matter how they start the season because, AD might miss a couple games here and there because he usually does. And they are a team that has a lot of veterans too. So those guys got to stay healthy and those guys got to stay ready to play their role, because let's be honest, the Dallas Mavericks do have some great others on their team. They have some great support players. And the question really going to be, can Cooper Flagg actually be a number one? Because people felt that way about Anthony Davis. People felt that way about Zion. People obviously felt that way about Cade Cunningham and guys like that. And Cade and him are kind of similar. They like to handle the ball. They like to score. I think Cooper is more efficient and just a better shooter. But, he has his own way of winning games, his own style of how he gets it done. And we have to respect that, like we have been showing as analysts and as other people in the craft. But it is going to be an interesting conversation because Cooper Flagg is a baller. The guy has it all, and he has a lot of things figured out. The problem with Cooper Flagg, though, sometimes he can get capped out. Like, what is his ceiling? Some people say Jason Tatum. Some people say Iguodala. Iguodala was never really a superstar or a dominant player. He was just a guy that was great at what he did, which was play defense and score and pass the ball and be a great team player. And then you look at a guy like Jason Tatum, he's one of the best scorers in the NBA. And if he can become that, then that's something that even he didn't do in college or he didn't really do in high school. just taking over the games and just flat out dominating them each and every possession is hard and very frustrating to do because the whole defense is going to be geared on stopping you and making things tough and making things as difficult as they can be. And that's why it's good for him to start with teammates that can help him ease into the NBA, make things a lot more smoother, take a lot of pressure off of them. Because let's just be honest, if you have a guy like Anthony Davis or Kyrie Irving on your team, they're going to be worried about them more than you. And that means I can slowly become the player that I want to be and also do it the right way by building chemistry and building camaraderie, because you need to do that too since it's a team sport. And I just feel like he has a lot of things that you want in a player. He has the qualities even when it comes to his personality, and his understanding of the game is high. This is a guy that's coming in as a teenager with high basketball IQ, and that's something that you don't really get with the teenagers. Like, you look at some players in this draft, they're missing so many things still, and they usually do. Even when you look at the top 5 picks, whether it's a Trey Johnson, whether it's an Ace Bailey, whether it's even a Dylan Harper, whether it's even a BJ Edgecombe, those guys just don't have the intellect and the knowledge of how to play the game correctly, how to continue to dominate the game in a certain way. And Cooper Flagg has all those things instilled in him already. It's just insane how mature and how focused this guy has been through all the ups and downs of his, trials and tribulations of trying to prove that he's the guy that you can't miss. And a lot of people say he's a can't miss talent. A lot of people do feel that he is on top of the world right now. And now it's just about, can you do it at the highest level against the greatest players and the best players in the world and do it at a winning level? Like, he didn't win the college championship, and a lot of it had to do with guys figuring out what he likes to do and just making things as frustrating and difficult as they can. And that's not going to change in the NBA. But we don't really know how this team is going to be built 2 years from now. He's going to be under contract for another 4 to 5 to 6 to 7 years, depending on if he signs the extension and he stays healthy and he does play. So this is something that he has to have in the back of his mind. I'm not going to have Kyrie and Anthony Davis as long as they're going to make it seem when they're talking to me as they're building this roster. I got to try to find a way to make the best of this opportunity and do the best that I can in this opportunity and not take it for granted, because a lot of these guys are going to be gone, or they're not going to be the same player. Can they rely on you? Can they, believe in you? And can you bring them to the promised land and be able to show them how to do this the right way, or try to show them that I'm ready to take that next step to be the player that I know that I am and I know I can be? Because if this is the best he can be, or he can be a little bit better, you're still taking that, because that's still above average of a player that you can get at this age. And it's nothing really negative that you can say about Cooper Flagg. His game is very sounded, is very complete. And that's the only problem is this his ceiling being a 20-25 point scorer. Maybe he can get to 30. Jason Tatum, his comp, got to 30 points per game one season. But he didn't really have it going as in the playoffs. So when you're a perimeter player, you have to be able to go inside out, which Cooper Flags has the ability to do and already has the understanding of how to do that. But now it's just about tightening up the handle, tightening up the jump shot, tightening up the strength and ability to handle the ball going all the way to the basket. Because you got to go against 7-footers that's mobile and athletic, and they're going to make it tough and hard for you to be able to finish in that paint easily. So maybe you can develop a floater game that you can depend on, or even a stop and pop jumper, because you're going to have to get that shot off quickly, and that's going to be a highly efficient shot because they're going to give you space, because drop coverage can be that way. Or is you just going to use your strength and your size to be able to get to the basket and just finish your force and finesse at the same time, depending on what option is available. He's going to have to continue to develop them hands and using that length to his advantage. But just to be honest with you, I do think that's my biggest question is, can he be that guy that leads you to the title as the best player? That's something that is very hard and very difficult to do. And I don't really honestly think he can right now, based on what I see and based on what I see him doing. I just don't see him doing enough or having enough to really be the number one option on a team that wins the championship. Maybe he's number 2, maybe he's number 3, and that's not a bad thing. There's a lot of great players that made top 50, top 25, top 75 by being a number 2. Anthony Davis is one of them. It was LeBron James' team, and when they won in the bubble, Anthony Davis didn't really care because he was playing at that level Anyway, some people had LeBron number one and him number two, and Anthony Davis look at it as I still got a championship out of it. I'm still top 75. I'm known as one of the greatest bigs ever, and I dominated my way, and I still was able to help a team win a championship. That's the way that Cooper got to look at it. Like, I'm at the NBA. I already achieved that goal in the next couple weeks. Now I just got to play in my first couple games. Like, I just got to stay as healthy as I can be. And even Jason Tatum, a guy that he's compared to, he didn't win the Finals MVP. It was Jaylen Brown that did that too. So maybe he just understands that my teammate need me to be this. My teammates may need me to play like this for this team to be successful. Same with the coaching staff. They may need me to be in a specific role that benefits everybody, not just myself. And then you may look at them like maybe you're just going to be AD team for the next 2 years. And, once Kyrie decides what he decides is up and coming season, in a free agency, what he decides to do, maybe that we put you on the ball more. We have you making more pick and roll options with AD. We find other ways to utilize you because you might not have that other ball handler again. And even if you do, you might probably want to split a little bit and let you have the ball sometimes, let somebody else handle the ball sometimes. And then, we can play through you. And it's going to be some decisions that's going to be difficult. There's going to be some decisions that they're going to have to make and understand because, like I said, you only can do so much for your team, and your teammates got to do their part too. And it's going to be a challenge for Jason Kidd to figure that stuff out. What do I really want him to do? What do I really need him to be for this team to be successful, for this team to reach its pinnacle, for this team to be the best version of themselves? And that's what the coach is supposed to do. And that's why the organization has to take it serious, when they're looking for a coach and when they're trying to find a way to find a coach for Cooper Flagg the next 10 years if they keep him that long, because we thought that they was going to keep Luka that long, and Luka ain't even the Maverick no more, and he was only 26 when they traded him. So, some players like Luka learned fast and grew fast and understood the game at a high level, so that was why they was able to have so much success with how they played and how they was able to adapt and how they was able to adjust to the NBA level. And I think Cooper Flagg will be the same. I don't think he has the ability to be a Luka type of player when it comes to averaging 33 points per game. Nobody really seen Luka doing that, even the Mavericks fans. Nobody seen Luka doing that, even the international fans. We knew he could play. We knew he was going to be a great player, but nobody seen him average 33 and 99. Them numbers are absurd. Those numbers are crazy. But it's something that actually happened, showing you how great and how good he ended up becoming. And I think Cooper Flagg, he just plays the game differently. He's not really a ball hog, but he is a guy that can take over a game. He is a guy that can score, with ease if his jump shot is falling and if he can get to his spots. But, we still got to see all of those things to believe it. We still have to see a lot of those things to come to terms with it. And it's going to be fun seeing Cooper Flagg do his thing and try to make his own legacy, his own brand, his own identity, and become a legend in this sport, which he's already close to doing because of college and high school. Now he just got to show that he can do it at the highest level. And the Dallas Maverick fans should be excited, possibly, to have him. And if they do draft him number one, like it's looking like they're going to do, they're getting a guy that's a complete player and just a very smart guy. And a guy that's willing to do whatever it takes, work ethic wise too, to get to the top and stay at the top for a while. And that's something that you have to say, wow, I want that guy. And it's still crazy that they lose Luka and they get Cooper Flagg and they still got AD and they still got Kyrie and they still got Klay Thompson and they still got Lively and Gaffer, who is going to be working on their body to bring themselves back the way they need to be able to have a successful season next year. This team is just poised and just ready to take over the NBA. And all you got to see is, can they stay healthy? And if they can stay healthy and Kyrie can be 75% of what he was, they're going to be a dangerous team in the Western Conference for years to come. But we just don't know how long they're going to keep Kyrie and Anthony Davis. But eventually it's going to be Cooper Flagg team in the future. And we're going to see how far he can take this team and how much he can do with them, who they decide to pair with them, how they decide to build a roster, and how you need to build a roster to win with Cooper Flagg is not really known when it comes to the NBA level. So it's going to be something that Nico going to have to figure out as he continues to be the GM or whoever is the GM in the future. What is the requisite talents that's needed to be able to win with Cooper Flagg as your number one option? Or maybe we need somebody who can score more. He can just make, the ball handling duties, combo-ish. or just become a dynamic backcourt or a dynamic front court like him and AD might be with Lively. So it's all going to be fun and all going to be interesting because these are the things that we have to see. These are the things we have to watch and continue to check out. And it's going to be fun to see the process and how they go about it to be able to get it done because there's no way you can trade for AD and not go for a ring because they gonna look at it like we didn't just trade one of the best franchise players ever just to not even get to the finals once. At least he got us that far. We got to at least make it there to have a chance to win, and then everything makes sense because you were so adamant that you made the right decision and you feel like this is something that we don't regret. This is something that we don't mind doing, and we ended up doing it for the reason that we believe. So now they giving a little bit of help by the draft lottery and the NBA draft and the fact that they tanked a little bit at the end of the season. I know they was trying to win. And I know injuries happen, so that's why they ended up losing. And that's why they ended up getting the pick because they lost enough to be able to get eligible to get the number one pick. It all worked out in their favor so far, and we'll see how far they can go with this Cooper Flagg, Anthony Davis, Kyrie, Klay Thompson, and Lively 5 starting lineup, and it's going to be tough to beat. That team is going to be hard to beat even without Kyrie because they got guys like Spencer Dinwiddie and things like that can still give them some type of handle and some type of scoring and some type of penetration, especially if Cooper Flagg is a shooter that we think that he possibly could be and that he already showed that he is. So it's going to be fun trying to see if Cooper Flagg can be the number one option. It's going to be interesting to see can he dominate at the NBA level, how fast is going to take him, how long is it going to take him, and can he do it efficiently, and can he defend at the level that people say. If people keep saying he's a can't miss talent, I watched him play and I enjoyed it. I like what I seen, like everybody else that's on his bandwagon. But it's also going to be something that's very fun to continue to witness. I'm a person that, like you see, I'm Jordan up. We got to say witness greatness. That's what Nike believed in. I'm a person that believes that too. And I feel like what we seen in college is only the beginning and we need to see a whole lot more. And I'm just going to be enjoying watching the Dallas Mavericks and Cooper Flagg try to figure out how to win the NBA championship with the talent that they have each and every year, knowing that the window gets closer and closer to closing, because we know how old AD and Kyrie is compared to a guy like Cooper Flagg. So that's going to be the biggest thing. What are they going to do after that? Will they trade them for younger guys, or will they just keep them around and try to win now? And if they do, what direction they're going to go in when those guys are gone? Those are the biggest questions, but I don't see Cooper Flagg being the number one right now. I don't see it. But that's why we have to wait and see what's really popping when that does happen. So maybe he can be 25. Maybe he can get 30 a game. But it's still about winning rings too. You can't just get 30 and dominate the game and not have great playoff performances and not get to the NBA finals and try to win. Luka was able to give y'all 30 and he was able to get y'all to the finals, but he couldn't get y'all to the championship because his window was closed a little earlier than people thought, even me. But Cooper Flagg might have a longer time in Dallas and have more ample opportunities to be able to win with them. And we'll see what he do when he gets selected number one overall by the Dallas Mavericks and how they go about building around him. Other than that, comment, like, subscribe, share, hit the notification bell for more analysis. And also, if you're new to the channel, do conversation video just like this about NBA on the topics. Also do breakdowns with real footage of legends, current legends, rookies, and also future stars. I'll do my draft and draft coverage too, so you love that type of content. This is the channel for you, I promise you. On top of that, I make videos basically each and every day that I'm living, so you always got something to watch, you always got something to look forward to, you always got something to enjoy, and look at this channel as a form of entertainment when it comes to basketball and NBA content. And like I said, I got over 3,000 plus videos already on my channel that you can watch and you can enjoy. If you're new to the channel, you want something to binge on, so you can look at it that way too. Other than that, hope you guys enjoyed y'all day. Hope you guys getting y'all rest, having y'all fun, getting some leisure in there, and also tackling it the right way and going about it the right way and trying to stay as positive as you guys can do through your daily journey on earth. We know how crazy it can get, we know how tough it can get, but we still have to do our part to stay, healthy and out of trouble to the best of our ability. Other than that, thank y'all for appreciating the content for what it is. Thank y'all for continuing to come back. Thank y'all for staying subscribed. Thank y'all for continuing to support me back then and still to this day. Not only that, I also would say thank y'all for continuing to make time for me and wonder what I think and what I have to say. And that's a 50-50 reason why this channel still exists, because y'all love what I make and y'all love the content I give y'all, and y'all always been around for that reason. And that's why this channel is still around, for the same reason. 10 plus years. Remember, let's make 2025 a better year than 2015. That was the blueprint of why the channel still exists and why it's been around, because a lot of those people still here and they understood what I was going to bring to the table and what I'm able to give y'all on the daily. And I'm going to keep mixing it up and give y'all some different things, that topic wise, some different type of videos too, to keep y'all interested, to keep y'all engaged, and to keep y'all happy as subscribers. And that's my job to do as a content creator anyway. Other than that, hope you guys stay blessed up and hope you guys are doing good. And if not, hope you guys get better and do better. Other than that, the weekend is basically almost here, as fast as that can be. I'll be back hopefully tomorrow to give y'all the instant analysis on the NBA finals, since it continues tomorrow. We'll see if Indiana is able to keep it up, or will the Thunder tie it up. We don't know yet, but it's going to be crazy to see who wins it, and that could decide the series depending on what happens. So that's going to be something interesting, and it should be giving y'all something to look forward to, and it gives me something to look forward to and give y'all too, and that's going to be a win-win for all of us. Other than that, I'm going for now. See y'all later. Y'all stay blessed up. Peace. Do y'all thing. Go.